Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. In this program today, we will analyze Chinese Foreign Minister's latest statement saying India and China are friends, not rivals. China says it is India's friend, not rival. China also says that the two countries should not be suspicious about each other. China also says that it wants to resolve the boundary dispute peacefully through negotiations. How should we see these utterances by a person no less than the Foreign Minister of China, particularly after China's military aggression on the Ladakh border 10 months back, and it is still not pulling back its troops? We will analyze this in the agenda today with two experts. We have with us former Deputy Chief of Indian Army Staff, Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh, and retired diplomat Ambassador Ashok Sajanhar. But before we start our conversation, have a look at this report.
10 months after launching military aggression against India on the Ladakh border, China has claimed that the two countries are friends and partners but not threats or rivals. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has also said that his country wants the border dispute to be resolved peacefully through dialogue and that the two nations should not be suspicious of each other. Interestingly, his comments came even as China is refusing to pull back its troops from the friction point in Depsang, Gogra Hills and Hot Spring areas of eastern Ladakh sector of line of actual control. Wang, in fact, apparently sought to blame India for the developments at the Ladakh border. He said the right and wrongs of what happened in the border area last year are clear, and it again proves that initiating confrontation will not solve the problem. Returning to peaceful negotiation is the right way forward, the Chinese Foreign Minister said. India has made it clear that the military aggression by China in May last year was a violation of all the bilateral agreements and understandings for maintaining peace and tranquility in the border areas. The Chinese action has badly damaged the relations, India says. It maintains that disengagement and de-escalation along the entire line of actual control is only way to restore normalcy. Therefore, India is pressing China to pull back its troops from all the friction areas at the earliest and take steps to restore trust. Bureau Report.
Now let's welcome our guests, Ambassador Sajanhar and Lieutenant General Gurmeet Singh. Welcome to the program, both of you, sir. So, General Gurmeet Singh, I'll first go to you about China's Foreign Minister saying that we are not rivals, we are friends, and we should not be suspicious about each other. What is your view? How do you see that statement?
See, Ajay, it's a very welcome statement. It's a positive and integrated, and it has come after statement 2020 in the India conflict. So, from that point of view, it's very come back to which we want to actually belong. And this has also come after 13 National People Congress guidelines, the conference. But what is important is that one is the quest for restoration of bilateral relationship, restoration of trust, which was badly broken in 2020. Categorically about our effort for border dispute. That is it. In fact, he said, he reiterated once again that the issue is by history. He said that it is not the whole story. He also said that we need to create an enabling environment to discuss these issues. And it's interesting to hear from them that let's be friend and partner, not be threat and rival. And also, he's reiterated those good that we have always been speaking nation, despite a complex, vexed border issue and many other problems that face. But it's the same. It looks as if it is connecting back to where we were belonging on our quest of peace and tranquility. And in fact, he reiterated those points of 2 points: ancient civilization, Asian century, all those points I think we have heard it. We shouldn't have had that we landed up 2020. Now at this moment, immediately it is important that we carry out the disagreement, walk over to the situation of de-escalation, then de-induct on this area. And one thing which has clearly been told that both the nations learned our lessons. And I would say that change of language, because our foreign minister had very clearly said that it is imperative maintenance of peace and stability, the essential bit is peace and tranquility for the country. So therefore, I think good effort to reconnect and reinitiate the same environment that, in
Right.
fact, that environment, I would
Okay, I'll come back.
as
Yeah, I'll
the
come back.
conflict in the is concerned. But at the same time, I would say that I think three things: basic clarification, border dispute, and relook at the agreements between the need of the arm and the background which is coming out for direction.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. Ambassador Sajanar, so is China India's friend or rival or what else? Particularly if we give, take the backdrop of last May's aggression at the LAC.
Yeah, it does no. It would not be call it an adversity. Diplomatic is established. But I think these statements coming after what happened in June last year in Galwan, I think they leave a lot to be desired. I think they are very facetious, they're very superficial. Because, when Wangi states that there should not be suspicion between the two countries, then who is the person, which is the country which has acted in a manner that the trust would be shattered? There would be such a huge trust deficit between the two countries. And which is the country that amassed more than 1,000 troops on our borders, brought in so many thousands of tanks, brought in its so many squadrons of aircraft, and was so aggressive in its intent. And there was so much of muscle flexing that was going on all the time. China has still not been able to explain any of this. So I think all that Mr. Wangi is preaching, that they should be sort of, looking into the mirror and themselves and trying to find out some answers and trying to share those answers with the others. So by statements like this, I think the trust level between the two countries has got further declined. I think the only reason why China is being forced to disengage, move back from finger 4 to 8 and destroy all its infrastructure that it had created. I think 2 or 3 reasons. One is because it desperately wants to have a normal business relations with India, because China used to exporting about $60 to $70 billion of goods to India. And if that starts declining, which I'm sure from June onwards, that would have declined. All its apps have been banned here. And also, I think because of the advent of the Biden administration, because China would have thought that Biden, when he comes, he would be much more, so to say, reasonable from their perspective as far as China is concerned. But possibly to their dismay, China has, United States under Biden, has been equally robust and muscular in its pushback against China. And they are now also suggesting a summit-level interaction between the 4 Quad members. There are so many FTA and navies of different countries in South China Sea and West Pacific. So I think China a little nervous, and that is, they would have thought, let's make one front less in terms of getting ourselves exposed to, because they need to focus all their attention and energy and effort on dealing with the Biden administration that has come in.
But Ambassador Sajanar, you said that China should look at its own actions But Wang Yi appeared to be blaming India for the Ladakh standoff. So at the same time, they are blaming India, and at the same time, they say that we are friends and all.
No, I would, I would have expected any honesty or integrity from China, because this is the sort of narrative that they always try to build. Just to give two examples, one is as far as the Wuhan virus is concerned. I think the whole world knows that the Wuhan virus emanated from Wuhan in China and then traveled all around the world. But it has been busy in all these narratives all around that it came from China, maybe it came in the from Australia, maybe it came from the United States and so forth. It will, by just repeating something over and over again, what China feels that it is going to be, it is going to somehow change the two narrative. The second example is, it is not India that has broken all the agreements that it signed in the past, whether it was 1993, 1996, the confidence building measures, 2005, 2012, 2013. Which country has broken these agreements? It is China, not India. So, China thinks that by repeating this narrative over and over again, people will start believing what they say. I think they are mistaken that definitely India is, and people in India, and sure, even as far as the United States is concerned, and in terms of free economies, transparent economies, but freedom of speech, I don't think any one of them is going to buy the Chinese line that India is responsible. And I think India has also pushed back that this is, not of our doing. It is China which came in first, and China is the one who should disengage. And that is how it happened on the north and south bank of Bengal Lake.
Right. General Gurmeet Singh, I'll come to you. As you heard Ambassador Sajjanar about saying that all the agreements signed between India and China since 93 were trashed when China launched this aggression in Ladakh sector, eastern Ladakh sector last May. So where is the trust? How can we trust China? Can we trust China?
I think I with a when he says that the biggest loss of 2020. Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, Gurmeet?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, please.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
See, the biggest reality of 2020 is that India and Indian armed forces have lost trust in what they did on June in Galwan. What the trust level was, what was done after 62, everything was lost that day. It is without, and no amount of action can take away the trust of them. Second is to regain the narrative, the reality. The fact matter is that it was a profound victory for India, because very at the time has pulled back from the place they came in. That proves that India was right on its acts. India was right on its. India was right in all related to professionalism. I think that is more important. I would say that of the 5 agreements that they were all towards peace and tranquility. They were for confidence building measures or improving the protocol to bring peace and tranquility on the LAC and the border area. But what has happened is of that. And in fact, I'm very happy that Indian leadership was very clear in telling them, I would say, without overtone, diplomatic goodness, those expressions, we told them candidly of the situation and the way on the armed forces with the absolutely resolve, they dominated the control. I think that was what was let nobody in the world or anyone take this notion and vision of victory with the Indian armed forces, with the Indian leadership, with the star India had 2020 on the challenge.
Right.
China PLA.
So, General,
at the same time,
yeah.
At the same time, I would say Actually, the way the entire world has changed its perception of China is concerned, because China was so on its belligerence in all fronts in 2020, starting with the let's take stock of uh, how much of a man we have lost in the world, and body wrongly, negatively, whatever you say, blame China for that. And all fronts were open by not only East Ladakh, Nepal, I would say Pakistan, political, South China Sea, East China Sea, Taiwan, diplomacy. In fact, they turned as a whole in this time. In fact, they have got much to pay for this. In fact, these voices which are coming is also because we have U.S. Defense Secretary with the you can see the quad. You can see now level of the leadership of both nations. They're going to talk. So the way it has come, they're very concerned about what happened. They would like to repair. But definitely, one thing is that all this good word fine. They got to back up actions to the ground, and that is what is needed. And India is in no mood to just battle diplomatic. It has got to be transparent. That is the change which is there. Now, resolution, national decisions, and the way I think we have this topic.
Right, Ambassador Sajanar, as we, if we take note of, I mean, Chinese Foreign Minister is stating all that friendship and other things at a time when, I mean, the standoff still continues in various friction points like Depsang, Gogra, and other things. I mean, there is no, I mean, disengagement has not been completed even. They are refusing to pull back troops from other places. Only Pangong has been cleared. So, when we see in that context or in that backdrop, how much should we take it on face value that about a peace overture, so called?
It's not a peace overture. I will not term it as a
That's why I said so called.
At all.
That's why I said so called.
Yeah, so called. Absolutely, I agree with you. So called, from their point of view, they might be thinking. Because actually, they have been very, very clear that the boundary question can be separated from the progress of normal relations, which at a particular time was correct because we had said that put the boundary question in the back burner, we will have bilateral dialogue, we try to sort it out, we try to resolve it through dialogue. That and in that context, there were all these agreements of 93, 96 and so on and so forth. But that has not worked. And we have told the Chinese very clearly, very categorically, you would see that, quite some time ago, the Chinese ambassador in Delhi has also been saying that we should separate the boundary question from the overall relations and we should have normal relations in other areas. Because I think that the decisions that have been taken by India in terms of banning the apps, in terms of reducing its import dependence on China, in terms of having case-by-case scrutiny of all the investment cases, all the investment proposals that are coming from China, I think that is, hitting where it hurts China. And that is why Wang Yi had said also that we should, our overall relation is just boundary. Now we have resolved it. Now let's go back to business as usual. But External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has told him very categorically there are also issues related to what you mentioned, Depsang, Gogra, hot springs, etc. And they also need to be resolved because otherwise it will be a human situation for China that, what is called salami slicing, that we move in 2, 3, 4 steps. We withdraw 1, 2 steps, but we still have got advantage of 2 steps or so. So, have moved back from Pangong Lake, north and south banks, but they have made advances in these areas. So that is definitely not acceptable. I think if China feels or thinks that it can be business as usual, we can revert back to it was not at all. Because I think the sanctity of these 5 agreements, they have also been destroyed. And we really need to balance that we need to establish a new paradigm of relations between India and China. And that I think will take some time to evolve. So it's not in a hurry that we can go to, normal business relations that China. And this is, what it is trying to, the carrot that it is trying to dangle in front of India, which says that, if you have normal relations, China will be able to help India in economic progress, in industrialization, manufacturing, and so on and so forth. But, huge question marks have come in that sector also, because we have seen, whether it is railway lines or our power sector or others, that China has been waging cyber warfare against India. So that means we need to be extra careful. I think we had always said that when there are critical infrastructure projects, China is involved, then we have to be very careful about it. And now with the recorded future, all the reports that have been coming in, that has made it even clearer. So we need to be very, very circumspect and find, we might otherwise, whatever is absolutely essentially required for the time being that is required, we might go in for that. Otherwise, we should become increasingly self-reliant, self-sufficient, and in that sense, the Atmanirbharta that Prime Minister Modi has gone, I think that is the right step at the right time, the right direction.
Right. So, Janak Gurmeet, I'll come to you. Once we analyze Chinese Foreign Minister's statement, he also says that China wants to resolve the border dispute peacefully. But he is talking at a time when Chinese troops are still standing with all assets, artillery and other missiles and others in, Depsang, Gogra Hills and Hot Springs. And so what does it, the two don't go together, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, if we have a look at border dispute, it has been for more than 70 years that we've not been able to. It has costed war a conflict in 62. It cost us 20. Eastern Ladakh had. Various methods have been applied for solving the border peacefully. Now, the current status is that we have a special representative forum with the NSA and Mr. Wang Yi as a state who is participating in. We already had 23 that, but nothing substantial or move forward has been reached to. I think it's a time that we sit together and move towards the real solution or direction to that. In fact, at the moment, still in the state of, say, guiding parameters, we are still looking at the guiding. We come to the border solution. In fact, now there are three immediately in front of us. One is at this clarification exercise, which must be. Prime Minister has categorically, our Prime Minister went to China and he said, resume it. That's the first thing. And the lesson that if you don't find your LS, then you're having problems like what we had in the Eastern Ladakh. And thirdly, I absolutely agree with the Mr. Sajanhar that we have to relook for 5 agreement. They have not stood the time as far as 2020 was concerned because Chinese army they honored the thing. At the same time, I think I would say, the full method can be applied leverage with you. Why China need to put from North Bank of Gang? So I just this is good on regarding this segment is that we had the right leverages, right deterrence, in the right situation. So I think that is what is very important. The way both the countries have been dealing with the border issues, got anything side of us.
Right.
Absolutely, it's okay to have diplomatic statements to say that we should have an enabling environment.
Right.
We should have the mutual aspect. That's okay.
Yeah.
But we have got to walk with little more speed and little more firmness and go toward.
And actually, they will need to walk the talk. Actually, isn't it? So we are
absolutely.
Yeah. So we are running out of time. Maybe one brief comment from Ambassador Sajanhar, maybe 20 seconds. India says that de-escalation is the key to resolving all issues. So, isn't it that China should take that action before talking everything about it?
No, absolutely. But, it's trying to sort of, push the envelope, that whatever, after all, whatever might have been their strategic objectives, they have had to withdraw. So I think as far as loss of face is concerned in the West, loss of face in India, spoiling their relations with India, and even a loss of face domestically, China has suffered. So I think they must be wanting to get as much as they possibly can. So they would have thought that, we can keep Gobra, Hot Spring, Depsang, etc., and let's start business as usual.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. You know what Wangi said? That let's try to support each other, not undercut each other.
Right.
Which country is undercutting the other? It is China. It is standing in the way of our membership of UN Security Council, of Nuclear Suppliers Group. It is coming in our borders, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, trying to undercut us. So that is why I said that Bangi needs to stand in front of the mirror and tell this to himself that this is what they should be doing, not undercutting India. If they support India, then we will take cognizance of it.
Yeah, clearly the onus is on China to improve ties, not with India. But the time of this program today is over. Thank you both of you for participating. This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another important topic tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.